I was telling her, this is the first time she's going like this. So I was telling her that meet people in school, and maybe 9 of them do not, but 9 of them.
The way they study and there's so much of pressure, they're not actually learning. They have to mug up things because they've got a target. And it all happens, starts from the beginning. Kids, parents force their kids to write. I mean, is it so necessary to write? I mean, they can start writing after 6 years and all. It's not very important. A kid, you'll notice a kid who is bad when they are like 10, 12 years old, like I can't read, it's not so. The thing is, from the very beginning, you are told your opinion does not matter. If you tell the kid writes, I went on a ride on a pink elephant, I say, fine, that is your imagination. Why you'll always contradict that person, say, no, pink elephant hota hi nahi. And how did you write? How did you get up on that elephant? I mean, we contradict at every point. That person is going to come back to reality at some point. At the very beginning, you force them not to. And when you do counting, like you can count on you can count cabbages and learn. You don't have to sit there and count numbers. You don't have to take so many aids. You can learn any way you want. But the thing is that option is not given. Then alternate schools are not available in Bangalore. If your child is like, I have seen lots of children who shift from ICSE board because they find it very difficult, some of the kids, and they come to either IB or IGCSE board because parents think it's a simpler board. I don't think it's a simpler board.
Are we having a conference here? The session is happening on table.
Yeah, it's just around table.
Okay, good. It's not a simpler board, it's just they teach differently. They are more application based and less theory based. They don't want you to mug up any theory of anything. They just want you to see whether you know the concept, and they give you a problem so you can solve it. Lots of kids can do that, but they can't remember what is the speed of light and how will it travel, and the theory behind it. And they will ask you, "Ye word kyun nahi hai?"
You said you talked about numbers, right? So let me ask, what does number 3 mean? It's 3 o'clock. Right? So the thing about numbers and counting is also that how does a child begin? And when a child is there, you need to respect that. You need to respect the questions that he asks.
Yes.
That so teacher, I didn't learn house number 3, so he said 3 houses. No, but then this is how it comes about. And then somebody 12 by 4 instrument. That's not an easy thing to answer. How did the 12 by 4 come about? So anything that you are teaching or talking about, it works best, particularly for young children, if it's done in small.
Yes.
If it is done possibly in groups where children are divided, not based on their ability at all, but on their learning style. So somebody is a visual learner, they learn with colors and numbers and colors and things like that. And others are linguistic and hearing or writing and things like that. And others are kinesthetic, so they will learn actually by doing things. And some might be a mixture of nothing is dominant. All these are dominant things. Whereas if you read the literature on learning styles, most of the time it says that if you're a visual learner,
even content visual.
that's one. And also, if you're a visual learner, you ought to develop kinesthetic skills. So you also become a kinesthetic. But the question is, what a child, why? Why not change the way that you teach to what suits the child, rather than have the child fit into something which is.
We promote. So I run a school program called Unhack. We actually encourage. We go to school. We teach teachers how to make a small module, and it's so easy. And then just YouTube it or share a link. So this is what we teach children consume education differently today. Let them kind of enjoy it. So they say that creativity is dead.
If we tell them not to be curious, tell them curiosity can kill the cat. If they ask you too many questions, don't be so.
That's one part of it, yes, but there's another part of it, I have seen whether teachers may know, but
Children
the
will-
parents are not accepting that. How will such schools actually grow? Because I have a right to decide where my child will study. So my teachers will do well, but if I decide not to put my child there,
That is what I mean. Calcutta is not very receptive to new ideas. If you go to Bangalore, in Bombay, they are very open to new ideas. You try out something new.
Calcutta is actually I started with. It's very laid back as far as new ideas are concerned. And even if
No, I think
Yes.
they see results coming.
That is, they wait for
They-
everybody else to do it. They say, chal raha hai, theek hai. Then
What
I
you should propose is let me do a mock, let me take some sessions and see what is the child's reaction, how do they absorb. So,
and you know what we're talking about is still manageable because we're talking about more 20% are employable.
Oh, employable.
80% are not employable.
80%
80% are employable, yes. Even MBAs they talk about 20% employable.
most of them can't write a proper email.
That's
I haven't
exactly
gone
right.
to very fancy school, but I can still articulate well on mail and stuff like that. But these kids who come from fancy schools, they can't write proper
Yes,
emails.
I
So-
think also it's the teachers who are important. It is very important that we look at our teachers, the kind of teachers we are training. Because I work in publishing, and we work with teachers a lot. We depend on them for feedback, and they also work as authors for us.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. We do this book series called this is a mathematics textbook, and we do this for 5-6-year-olds. So you can imagine the level of questions there. 2 + 2 = 4. Count and write, things like that. Our sales representative.
job.
The attitude, not even salary.
I would say
recently,
both.
I just went to meet a
It's very
teacher.
sad. And even research, I don't think teachers in the US, teachers are mandated to research as part of it.
That's
So there is no, it's not that all research is coming from there, it's our students who are going there and becoming teachers and researching and creating things.
We are very happy to make everything into a scam. So research becomes a scam.
Yeah.
Because there's a school in Chandigarh. So we are all researchers. And each one of our teachers is counted to publish a paper every year.
And the quality of paper is
How can you
Very
do that?
bad.
No, they don't do it. I have to do it somehow.
The thing is that
Professors, Dr. Kamal to management a library of 1,500 books, having a student strength of 200 or 300. That is nothing. Out of 1,500 books, some are reprint and some are copies. So, first of all, the problem lies with, I am not blaming anybody, our system in education has become totally corrupt.
Yes.
The UGC, AICTE, they grant you this recognition. They should withdraw. I am very sorry, but they are taking bribes for that, for granting recognition.
That is
As on that, there are 4,000 management institutes. Now they don't have neither library, nor proper infrastructure, nor proper classrooms. Some of them
Ma'am,
don't
please,
have
sir, we are
proper
having a round table.
classrooms.
Is it something that
No,
is-
no.
No, no,
It's a
it's a session going
Some
on.
of them are not having proper class
They-
faculty. They are hiring part-time faculty or visiting faculty, and they don't have specialized or expert faculty. These are some of the problem, and they pay very, very low salary to full-time. Forget about part-time or even to full-time professors, they are paying very.
Consume books in the library. My
They
concern is
can
just
do
not
online,
that. Yeah, so everything is available online. I somehow feel that, in fact, education has moved online. We are moving to an era where there will be virtual schools. We will not need
schools.
We will not need physical schools. We will not need physical teachers. We will not need. So people are now. Going forward, and I feel this is where India can actually benefit to villages. We can, however, online facilitate education in native language to every corner of the country.
Right.
And that is where I feel that this is what the government, if they are looking at so-called digital India dream, governance, education, and finance, this is exactly, and it's not why students, why not adult education, why not women education? I mean, this is way forward, and this is what this country should be looking at.
Actually, yes. All you need is a good system, connecting system, and
And that's happening.
Yeah, that's
So,
all.
that's
You don't
happening.
need Like you don't need fancy desks, libraries and
You
stuff.
need the right people.
Yeah,
you
the
need
right
a
people.
virtual teacher whom you
Person
can
makes
connect
a-
with. Yes.
No, but I'm
People
sorry
cannot
to
physically
interrupt.
go to villages,
The-
but if
the-
I'm connected with
Yeah.
Skype, I will conduct a whole class. But
I'm
if you ask me
telling
to go
you-
to a village and spend 3 days, I can't.
See,
I don't have
these
time.
proprietors of these management institutes, I have visited 80 management institutes all over India. I'm sorry, they are class 10 pass, class 12, they are hardly graduate, they are not
See, that
scholars.
is the year of businessmen running schools.
Yeah,
How many
it is
teachers
become a
run
totally
schools?
business. It
You
is
know,
totally
I
business.
feel very strongly about it, sir. I put my money.
If a teacher becomes a principal, that school runs differently.
Different.
Yeah.
Always.
But it's a businessman who are running the show. You go through the profile of management institutes,
but
60% are owners who are simply graduates. They never have climbed the stairs of
No, but
management
then I don't
education.
think they interfere so much. in
No,
this
they are running the show. They don't give you money. They are running like bunnias, like a grocer shop. They are trying to run a management
But
institute.
that is the thing.
They are not paying it. They are,
If you are passionate
even
about
I was
it,
not allowed.
You should get into it.
Listen, nobody sponsored me for a seminar. Students are bunking classes. What was happening at the college level, it is now happening at MBA level also. Students never come. And summer project, believe me, 90% they make it cut, copy paste. Same summer project,
That's exactly
10 boys have copied the same
No, sir,
cut, copy
Plagiarism is
paste.
never
We
addressed
have
in
to
India.
avoid as
I want to intervene here because I think it's power of education.
Yeah.
So the thing is what you look at as education. So if you are saying there's an MBA school, there's a management school, and you have something that the esteemed student is called startup, India, whatever. Why did you marry them together? Okay. Every group, let's say you have a class of 80 or 120 or whatever it is, make groups out of them. You go teaching them management. And whether they have to then study Kolkata or they have to study economics.
These are things, which are so doable with the click of a button, free of charge.
I would like to add to your point. As a school student, I would say I had never even participated in any activities because it was so limited. It's always within school boundaries. And now that I'm in college, I'm blessed to have a college which has so many extracurricular activities. I've gone out, I've presented papers, like the event was saying,
And then you have Google Science Fair.
There's so
You
many
go out there.
actually. There's so
Right.
many.
You don't need school to do that. What the school can do is facilitate what you need. And give you
inform you
time
about
off
that.
from this thing. And if they don't, just take time
The
off.
school needs to nurture your idea about inquisitiveness.
Your curiosity.
Yes. Then if you
You'll
ask
find
the
it.
question, you will find it. Yeah. If you need to ask the question, like how do I do this? Then it's available everywhere. Like you can find it anywhere.
You just have to
But
go out. I mean,
yeah,
I would like to
yes.
address to you like how you said like there's so many things you can do outside of school. Definitely, that's a definite yes. But you have to understand, I'm a child, like I'm growing, and I just need that little nudge, that push.
Yes.
I can't just go there because if something happened in school and I participated in that will give me a boost. And then I would go outside and venture
So this is exactly
beyond
what
those
we do
boundaries.
when you go, we
Let me
talk
sh-
about these horizons and how you will open it.
Let me share a story with you. There was a young lady who came to me, she was in class 9 or 10, and she wanted to do a project for the Google Science Fair, which is a research-based project. And she had a good idea. The idea was very nice. So I said, okay, this is not my area of competence, so I can include the professors and researchers in other things. But then you got to see this. So she was put on holiday for a couple of months. And I said, you think of the project, and you want to do a partner, my partner, because it's going to be very hard. So she came back and gave samples. So her mother knows too much. I said, what's there? Is she interested? Not interested, because I can't be talking to researchers and people and say there is a Indian origin kids who are there and done well, but not Indian kids.
That
So-
is the problem. When they go abroad, they get a different kind of setup. They do very well, but it's not given to them here.
Okay, one thing about that, my friend, she's there in the States. So the one thing she tells me about the States, and I like that, over there you have a lot of liberty to choose your subjects. Like
Yes.
you can combine whatever you want.
Yeah.
She's taking
There are variety of
statistics with
subjects,
Mandarin, which is nowhere
Yeah.
related, but she wanted to take it, so she did, just for the heck of it. And over here, we have 3 subjects. That's it. You don't get choice. You can't
They're pushing the streams.
No, they have.
So all that is actually, so she's absolutely right.
It is
But it's
important.
very important.
We're just doing that in the morning today. My daughter has to choose her subject. So I was telling her, yeah, choose some sciences and some arts so that you can mix both in both sides.
Precisely what you're not allowed to do here.
Yeah.
My sister was choosing her subject. She was told, if you take up economics, you should take up math. If she does not like math, she cannot.
See, that's because I don't know about Delhi University, you cannot apply for economics honors without mathematics.
Exactly.
So, these are, so if you want,
These are
if you're looking at
drawbacks.
DU, I mean, I can only talk about Delhi, then this is there is a PCM and all kind of. It's a math, it
You
doesn't
should have
work.
included math because in Calcutta
that is-
University
so what do you
in
do?
West Bengal, earlier it was a BA economics, now it's BSc economics.
I think you
That
have to
means
fire
if you
the,
have maths.
the passion and the
because
child.
lot of charts
No
are
matter
there in
how much you
economics.
limit it, the child is going to find a way.
Absolutely.
Or his way.
So, but I feel
There's just
sometimes it
something
happens
inside.
so late. I mean, why can't schools provide the platform to
Absolutely.
find it at an early age?
Absolutely.
In fact, I was
So-
reading about this education system in
But they stay there. Unless you want to grow higher, you have to learn a different field. So you just can't be like,
And need to have knowledge of many things.
yeah, many things. You
Because
need to be a
combine.
management. I think
You know,
Yeah,
it's very
I'm
interesting.
glad here, we are, as an educationist, all of us, we have to improve the general knowledge of our students. That is declining and their memory is also very much declining. I am very sorry to say, I asked the students after appearing in final exam that which questions sir malum nahi hai, sir yaad nahi hai. They are forgetting
not
which
memory,
question they have
it's
attempted.
It's not memory. By the way,
They are
students
They are not
are
interested,
very
yeah.
smart today.
And what they have learned in 11th class, they don't remember in 12th. Bola, sir, okay, 11 में हम पढ़े
That's
हम
from
लोग
the,
याद
how
नहीं।
they learn, they don't
No,
know.
that's
Well,
because
they are forgetting everything.
that's not that because there is no
They're not
interest.
interested in
If
learning
the
that.
so if
They
you
are
make the teaching
interested in passing the
interesting,
exam, that's all.
They
They are
mark
not
it up
learning
and
it.
don't
It's
pay.
not
They
learning.
don't
They forget everything. They mug up and forget. These have everything
I believe,
discontinuous.
as she said, right, it's more a matter of interest rather than.
it's an interest. If it's
Because
an
kids,
interest, you
if they have
remember
interest
it.
in it,
It's the
I
way
think
it's
they
been introduced. It's the way a topic is introduced.
So, if you look at the scenario in India, there are broadly two kinds of classes. Let's say there is the haves and have-nots. That the child should start earning, the quantities out of this thing, and ऐसा नहीं आया तो the family will close. Right? But there are families like that where it is so, where the pressure is there that if they don't earn, it's going to close. Because
Family
the
will
father is
not
getting
survive.
out of the
The
job and
father
all
is
that
going
stuff.
to-
So basically, yeah, what do you say? Since I'm from a highly professional family, my family is a long line of doctors and engineers. So there's no business that I can, there's a cushion for me waiting there. So I have to do well for myself. So business-oriented people, they have this cushion. Okay, fine. Even if you don't do well in your subjects, it's fine. You can always come back to business, and that's wrong. You shouldn't say that to someone because there's failure doesn't exist. There's only feedback. So just if a person hears that, okay, I'm not doing well, I have to go back to business, that's something he doesn't want to do, you shouldn't force it on your child like that. So
Okay, so let's take the case of a rickshawala, right, whose income is whatever,
Yeah.
3,000, 4,000 rupees, right, and he has a son or a daughter who is educated. Now he would like that after he or she is educated, he rises. He also for some time contributes to the kind of struggle that they've gone through
The family expense.
and the family expenses, the health expenses which will come with the kind of life that he leads. If you are from a family which is reasonably well to do, a fair amount of bank balance, health insurance, so on and so forth, maybe you don't. That's where I'm coming from. However, primary education in our country is still not free. Right? And when it's available, there you could spend a lot on that. So people do. And that is where I think where we ought to make a difference.
The jobless unemployment scenario in India is very high. I'm sorry, I'm not criticizing anyone. We can't compare with smaller nations. We have a very large 125 crore population, 50% below 35, and our unemployment rate, we have 4-5 crores officially registered unemployed.
I know, don't get bogged down by statistics. The thing is, if you want to do something, just do it.
I just feel
And
that
don't-
with this digital era, we can fix a lot
of things.
because we
No.
don't need the funding.
We can
know,
encourage more
you
quiz, more of GK, general knowledge quiz and all this.
I just feel
creativity.
more of us should become entrepreneurs, and if you want to do something, just do it.
So it only depends how we look at it. If we have a huge population and we look at it as a whole,
Because our kids
Our
aren't.
father was an auto rickshaw driver. So
They have had it too easy. They aren't.
It doesn't matter.
things have improved, things are improving.
My point is
But
that
it's a very
no,
slow
right,
space.
right.
We have to
The
encourage
focus
the
is
speed.
not the rank.
Right. It should not be that.
It should be the learning, what you're gaining from the entire education process.
Yeah.
Not whether you're coming out on top or the third or fourth or fifth or tenth.
They should learn, yeah, obviously, yeah.
That should be.
That's what I'm telling you. They mug up the
So
answers.
we see job applications like that in my company. People with excellent CVs, 80%, 90%, they've got first class marks in graduation, post-graduation.
And children in today's world, they go through
So much, yes. Maybe social media itself can bring them down.
They are loaded with a lot of other things other than education, which in our time it was not there.
If they learn this skill of solving problem as solving, so what is heuristic thinking, what is explorative so they analyze putting things together. So that's what even some of the examples are. You could ask, I just mentioned that the Earth takes or is still here at 23.5 degrees. All of us feel it. What are class 4? So if you are sleeping and moment you woke up this morning, the Earth still has increased to 45 degrees or has reduced to.
By the way, everybody today is talking about, what, so we did this little session on IT, women in IT. The idea which I feel today, which mothers should actually now put forward, is that they must let the girl child pursue science, mathematics and computers, because jobs ahead are in engineering, architecture, science and mathematics only, because everything is getting automated. And I'm not 20 years down the line. A child joins a school today. By the time the child will graduate, and I'm talking about urban cities, rural also will trickle down. But basically, automation will lead to a lot of things, getting like admin, a lot of jobs getting down. The only 3-4 job profiles which will be very, very prominent are these skills and some bit of management. Everything else will, in the next 20 years, not be there. So job profiles are changing.
You're extremely fortunate to be in a country where you take a couple of steps and so you have
Economic empowerment. I'm talking about rural India also.
so rural
Taking
that's
schemes
where-
to rural India where they can open micro enterprises, do something.
So,
There are
so if you bring that education into play as at that point, when the child is disadvantaged or other kinds of groups are disadvantaged, then you can by being sensitive to those concerns of theirs, you can bring those people also to the stream of education and let them ask questions. Let them question whatever is
statesman has fun.
No, I just got it off the website.